watching The Form, and this weekend we're back at Ellerslie for our feature meeting. We're also heading down to Trentham, and we've got Kiwis in play across the Tasman heading to Queensland. So we've got the full team back in to help try and find the winners, Aidan Rodley, Bevan Sweeney and Leith Innes, and this is what we'll be starting with. The feature out of Ellerslie, the Champagne Stakes at a listed level, and of course the Ellerslie preview on the undercard, the Open 1400 metres and the 3-year-old over the 1100, our racetrackers. Then we're heading to Trentham. We've got the feature, the James Bull Rangatiki Cup at listed level, having a look at the Open 1200 as well. Our Kiwis in Australia preview and our best bets. We're trying to find you more of those this weekend. As we head off to Ellerslie this weekend. So Leith, as I say hello to you, weather and track-wise, what can we expect?
Yeah, look, between now and Saturday, Pit, there's no rain forecasted, so we're going to get that nice soft 5 come Saturday morning. There's a high of 19, low of 15, and look, the rail's out 6 metres. 10 days ago, it was out 3 metres.
Sounds like we're getting to maybe perfect conditions as we have a look at the feature on the program. Race number 4, Towering Vision, is the favourite for Te Akau at $2.50, from Toretto at $3.50, along with Windstorm, and then Do You Just, the only other runner in single figures, at $6.50. We'll take you to the key lead-in race, of course, the Waikato Stakes out of Te Rapa, and Towering Vision here, Aidan, was very good, especially when taken on right by the line to keep on finding.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 of the 7 runners who go around in the Champagne Stakes come out of this race. Towering Vision, superb. It was a real ding-dong battle with Navy Dreams, but emerged victorious and just looks to be a really progressive horse. Toretto, I thought, was pretty good here, so too Windstorm. Leith, the winner looks to come out of this race, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. Windstorm ran the fastest half mile in the race, but you know, Towering Vision, you think that was a heavy 8. He's going to receive a better track, and you think the mile's going to really suit him. Do You Just was quite a good run in the race. He sort of over-raced. They've taken the blinkers off him this week, and they put side winkers on him.
The winner definitely comes out of that particular race. Towering Vision, I thought, good. Come up the inside. I thought it was a good return to some form from Toretto. Windstorm, very, very progressive, and even Do You Just was okay in running, just 3 lengths off the winner. I really found it difficult to split those top 3. Towering Vision's, if it was good enough to say it can win again. I think Toretto's coming to form, and you mentioned Windstorm sectionally, but yeah, that race should be franking up the Champagne Stakes winner on Saturday. Yeah,
really should. So let's see if we can get a guide from Connections, and we start with Sam Burgesson. Aidan just asked him how Towering Vision will suit the step up in distance.
Yeah, we think it suits him really well, especially speaking to Grillsy post-race. You know, he had no qualms with going to the mile. We thought the 1400 suited last time from the 12, and now the extra 200 again we think suits. He worked on the rail here this morning with Altari, really solid piece of work, and he seems to be, you know, coping really well. Sort of the more we throw at him, the more he really thrives, which is always a really good sign, and especially in young horses. So, yeah, he's going the right way.
Look, we think he's getting better. He got a little posted wide the other day there at Te Rapa, and his run was really brave, and he just got a little bit keen, and we've taken the blinkers off and just brought him back to side winkers and out to the mile, and we're just hoping he relaxes a little better and gets a good bit of rhythm going. And if he does, his fitness levels are very high. He's a horse that's got a good bit of ability. He only just missed 2 starts ago, and he's trialled well around Ellerslie before. So whilst he's probably not short in the market, you know, he probably represents a bit of value, and we see him as a genuine top 3 chance if everything goes his way. Yeah, he's a pretty swift galloper, so we're expecting a pretty good run from him.
He's still a maiden, obviously, but yeah, he's been competitive in most of his races. We like him, we always have, and it will be interesting to see where he measures up. There's some nice ones in amongst it, but it's only a small field.
Her trials had been nice, then we ran her over the 1200 and just got lost, and well, I wouldn't say couldn't keep up, but, you know, the race was just run. It was a very fast run race. Look, she's an ace-high filly. I've actually always really liked her. This may be coming up a bit soon for her, but blinkers go on up to the mile, back to the 2-year-olds. You know, it's only going to be a small field. She come through the last start really good. I thought if I can just switch her on a bit, which I think it has. Look, it's a massive throughout the stumps, I do know. But certainly happy to have a crack. I had a good talk to Rick, and we're happy to throw out the stumps, and she'll go out for a good spell after this. But yeah, she's a horse that's going to make it.
She did a bit wrong last start at Te Rapa. She got caught wide from the wide draw and did a lot of work too early, and she hit the front too early and it just got it all wrong. But her exhibition gallop the week prior was really good. Her run at Waverley was really good, and she's trained on really well.
Not too much. They had a gallop on Saturday and another gallop here this morning, and yeah, they're pretty natural and they're going to run out the mile, so didn't have to do too much with them.
Yeah, what gives you the confidence for the step up for both of them?
Windstorm, he's probably one of the bigger 2-year-olds running around. He's a massive stride, and he just does it pretty easy. And Toretto, I mean, he's a full brother to Bo Dazzler, who's in the Queensland Derby, so that gives you a lot of confidence he's going to run out a mile.
Yeah, Holly Wynyard with a really good hand in this Champagne Stakes, but I think the right form is the Towering Vision form. It was really good in a close finish last time out, was determined, and just looks to have so much upside with Towering Vision. Leith, you?
Yeah, I'm off Towering Vision as well. Look, hopefully it's not going to be a sit and sprint sort of race, being a small field of 7. He looks ideally placed with the draw up to a mile as well.
Yeah, I can't disagree with the boys, actually. Towering Vision on top for me. I'll be covering a little bit on Toretto, who I've always had a lot of time for, at around about 350. Good little 2-year-old contest there with the 3 top runners not too far apart.
Yeah, really nice betting affair, and if you want to catch that race, gets underway 1:35 p.m. on Big Saturday. We stick with Ellerslie. We're going to take a look at race number 3. This is the Open over the 1,400 metres. And you can see Whiskey and Roses at $4.50. Favourite from Bourbon Empress, Sterling Express also at that $5 quote. And then you've got Dusty Road, who is slightly moving in the market at $5.50 from Grand Garlo. That's how the market is playing. Let's take you back to Sterling Express and Grand Garlo last time. Start with Sterling Express, Aidan. Very nice, back and fresh, up to open class, and picks up the win with a good ride from Kate Hercock.
Yeah, it really was a good ride too, wasn't it? Went to the inside when many were scouting a little bit wider. Certainly nothing against Grand Gallo, who's dropping to 52 kilograms with Tristan Moodley's claim here, so drops 2.5 kilograms, whereas Sterling Impress goes up 1.5 kilograms. That 3.5 kilogram swing for Grand Gallo going into this a little bit sharper, I thought might just bring about a swing and a turn of the tables. Leith, are you agreeing with that?
I think Sterling Express, look, he was fresh up in that race. He was going in there without a trial. I was there on course, and he had a good blow after the race. So I reckon there's a little bit of improvement in him. Like you said, Grand Grello was really good, and she's going to be aided by the claim and the barrier 1 on Saturday. Yeah,
it's really interesting. Sterling Express won a couple fresh up and missed the next start. I do really respect Sterling Express. I just think the weight swing towards Grand Gallo is going to be a major thing. And I think Grand Gallo was slightly run off her feet in a 1:10. 1,400 metres will be a big assist for her. I think that makes her really, really competitive. Dusty Road brings great interest here. And great to see young apprentice Liam Cowdery getting another opportunity. He'll take 3 kilos off Dusty Road on Saturday. I thought this was a really brave effort, fresh up. Where, to be fair, Dusty Road does run really, really well. Any easing in track conditions will really help Dusty Road. Doesn't hold a fantastic second up record, Leith, but this horse is flying inside its last season. And on the evidence of this, he's bounced back into this campaign well.
Yeah, he's got a liking for Tarapa. He loves the place. Obviously good for Liam to come to Ellerslie. He's only had one previous ride at Ellerslie, so it's good experience for him. He's not without a chance in the race. Look, he's got the weight relief, and he never sort of goes a bad race either.
He's been Group 3 placed in the past. He's a good horse, Dusty Road. It's an interesting dynamic here because first time Ellerslie, better track conditions. He's only won one of his 5 races right-handed. He seems to be a better horse left-handed, but there's definite upside there. Pericles isn't the worst of chances, but probably just needs to improve a touch of what we saw last time.
Yeah, absolutely, Aidan. And one we have mentioned, of course, saw the good chances, Grand Garlo, and Aidan did catch up with co-trainer Andrew Scott and just asked how she's going.
Really well. She's been racing super around Ellerslie. She knows her way around there well. She's won round there on Boxing Day. She's another mare that she's worked in well. She's done a good bit of work leading in. She's had a wee gap between runs now just to freshen her legs, and we're trying to have a reset for the Fillies and Mares group race at Tauranga in the middle of June there. So, but no, she's in good form and she's very consistent, and she'll certainly be right in the finish.
Yeah, well, she went out. She spelled early. She's a big, sort of very big, strong mare. Can get a bit sort of gross in conditions. So we thought we'd bring her back, give her a limited campaign through the autumn, 1 or 2 runs, give her a light spell and have her ready to go early spring. She's very good. She's obviously the Rich Hill Mile winner, but didn't want to leave her out for like 3 months and almost lose her in condition-wise. So yeah, light prep, nice spell, but she'll be one you can follow right through the spring. Really happy the way he's coming up too. He's trolled up good and forward. 1400 short of his best, and he's racing out of his grade, but I just thought lovely track of Ellerslie to kick him off rather than on a heavy track. So look, he'll give a bit of cheek, but better suited when he gets up over further.
I guess Billy Lincoln's the same boat. How's he doing?
I really liked his first up run at Te Rapa. Thought it was very good. He'll get in with a nice weight here. I think he can give a real bit of cheek. He's probably one of your top fours at a good price.
Yeah, look, obviously disappointing at Te Rapa last start, but his run before that, Ellerslie, was very good. Ellerslie is his favourite track. Look, wet track in Te Rapa, he's just never performed there. So I'd say back at Ellerslie on Saturday, if he can draw a gate, wouldn't surprise me to see him go close.
Yeah, just perfect. Everything's perfect, and yeah, looking forward to going back to Ellerslie. He trolled up there last month, so, and he went real well. So yeah, keen to get back there.
Obviously, his win last time was really good. Hadn't had a trial, so I elected to give him a bit longer between runs, but I'm happy with him. Yep.
Yep, really happy with him. It's getting to that time of the year where the tracks are starting to get a little bit moist, which he's not so keen on, but that's why we're heading up to Auckland.
It's an interesting race, I think quite even, and even Whiskey and Roses, they've opted for this race rather than the 3-year-old race at the 1400 metres in contention as well. Just looking again, Tristan Moodley only claims down to 53, so he won't be able to use his full 2 kilogram claim. So rather than a 3.5 kilogram swing on Sterling Express, it is 2.5. But for me, that will be enough. I think the Grand Gallo can be winning this open sprint. Leith, you going the other way?
Yeah, I'm going Sterling Express. Warren Kennedy knows the horse well. He's had 6 rides, 2 wins and a couple of placings. And like you said, Whiskey and Roses down on the weights, 53 kilos, could be a danger as well.
I'm with Gringell. I think the weight swing will really help out the mare. I think she'll love the 1400 metres. Even with the 2.5 weight swing, I think that's a massive key. So I'm with Grand Gallo, but I am also pretty keen on Whiskey and Roses as a cover bet from that gate, 54 kilos at 450.
Sounds like we might have a trifecta in race number 3 as we move on to race number 6 on the program. This one for the 3-year-olds, of course, over the 1100 metres. Celestial Wonder is your favourite, $2.60, just ahead of Velocious at $3. Then you're getting out to Thusa at $6.50. Take you back to the Cambridge Breeders, where Celestial Wonder and Velocious both come out of it. We'll start with Velocious. Aiden obviously went back from the gate and just didn't really look comfortable in tight quarters up the inside.
Yeah, it's a weird run from Velocious, wasn't it? Because even when she gets into clear running, she doesn't really let down like she did. Celestial Wonder was okay, but it was a race where they were sitting closing. I think a forgive run from Celestial Wonder, third up into the race. And then you have to be forgiving of Velocious if you want her in your numbers. She's won 5 of 10, but I don't know, there was just a few things about that run that had me scratching my head. So I was favouring Celestial Wonder. I was interested to get your take on Velocious's effort, Lee.
Yeah, Velocious, look, there's I don't know what happened either. Half mile, she looked like she sort of lost her spot. Again, at the top of the straight, she lost her spot, and then she had no run down the straight. So definitely I give her a forgive run. Like you said, I think the rates were set up for those closes. They probably just overdone it a little bit in front. So, yeah, Celestial Wonder is going to be a good chance from the draw on Saturday.
Yeah, I was bemused, actually. It looked like Wiremu was expecting that horse to come down in front of him when the run was probably for him to go into. I actually thought she was travelling really nicely for Velocious at points in the run, and she just never was really let rip because there was a wall of horses in front of her, and I know Wiremu just didn't go to a couple of spots we possibly could have. So I was actually okay with Velocious, that run. I know late she didn't really pick up quickly, but I don't think she was asked overly strongly either, in fairness. Thusa is fresh up on Saturday for Tony Pike for the Cambridge Stud team, trialled up quietly behind TriStar, who is a winner and has form behind Ardalio, sought after in good quality races at Ellerslie. The filly by Elmeans, or she'll get better the further she goes, but look, she ploughed through this track condition. Leith, she won't get this on Saturday, and she certainly does like better ground. So, fresh up, she's 2 from 2, so you'd expect her to be very competitive.
Yeah, she's had a look around Ellerslie as well, where you said like she ran third to sought after, and Dalio, even though she was beaten 3.6 lengths. Look, from Barrier 5, she'll land right on the speed, so she's going to be there. maybe wants it a little bit wetter than the soft 4 she's going to get on Saturday. I'm not sure.
Just the benefit of the break between runs, I think that will have helped her. She's been out on sort of good early autumn grass and probably built up really nicely. So she probably needs to improve a little bit, but has the ability to figure, I reckon, Pip.
Yeah, absolutely, Aidan, and a good price too if you want to find out. But there are question marks, of course, around Velocious. So let's find out from her trainer, Stephen Marsh, how she is going.
One very good fresh up. I think we just put a line through her last start. Nothing really went right there at all. Looks a nice race. She loves Ellerslie. We've got good weather for the rest of this week. She's going great. I'd love to see her get a good barrier draw, but in her work, the way she is, she looks magnificent. I think she can really bounce back to her best.
She's trialled up well. Obviously, she ran in some pretty good 3-year-old races last preparation. She's a bit stronger this prep. It's come up a stronger race than I thought at this time of the year. But if she draws a gate, she's trialled up well. She's a place chance in what looks like quite a hot field.
Yeah, really good. It was sort of scratching our heads a little bit. We were quite confident going into the Cambridge Breeders. Obviously, it was a fantastic field. Just sort of those leaders sort of stopped a little bit on the inside there. But Grillsy thought he didn't go that hard in front. So she was a little bit scratching, a little bit of a head scratcher late. But she's come through it really well. Looking forward to going to Ellerslie. We think 1100 suits as well. She's got that sort of really sharp sprint on her. And obviously it's come up quite a good field there again with Velocious and the likes. So interesting race, but confident she can bounce back.
I'm going to share that confidence with Sam. I'm going to go with Celestial One, and we know she's got the ability here. And just there's some question marks around some of the others. So, yeah, I'm going to go Celestial One, and not with a huge amount of confidence, but putting my faith in her ability, Lee. Yeah,
well, she's got the 3 kilo swing of Velocious as well. Look, Courtney Barnes back on this week. I think it's a big plus. She's only had the 1 ride on her. Look, she's going to get sort of midfield from her draw, but I'll just forgive that last run.
Me too. I think Velocious, she just put a line through that last start performance. It was a really good win, fresh up. I think that showed that she was getting back towards her best, and her best is too good for the majority of this field. So I'll go with Velocious.
Okay, and that does complete our look at Ellerslie. If you want to catch all the action, well, it gets underway nice and early, 11 a.m. on Big Saturday. Time for our race trackers. Leith, we start with you. Who have you found for us?
Yeah, I'm going to take you back to last Saturday, race 2 at Rotorua, Sacred Z. Look, he's a really nice, big, sort of progressive horse, 3-year-old by Z, Nick Brashara. Look, there's a fair bit to like about him. He was taking on the older horses. This was obviously his first maiden win. There's a nice race for him next Saturday at Te Rapa, a 3-year-old, 1,400 metres, set weight and penalties, and I think he's definitely one to follow.
I'm going to take you back to Trentham and the Autumn Sprint final, and Fancy Pants down there on the inside. If you were there, you just wrote your chances off, and he was dictated to down there. Of all the horses that were down on the inside, he probably put up the bravest performance throughout the day in one of the strongest races on the program. So I think he's a winner at short notice. You can actually see Sumasaurus in there as well, and he goes around Saturday and looks very tough to beat.
I'm going to go for the obvious one from last week. Honey Badger, very, very good. Just blitzed them, ran away from them in a performance of the highest quality. I know it's caught the attention of our man, Mr. No Bet, Stephen Hunt from the leg up. He really liked the performance on numbers as well.
Yes, well, I'll be having a bet on this one next time she comes out to the track. Vatanova for Simon and Katrina Alexander. I thought this was a really nice run from her. She just had trouble getting into clear air around the 200 metres. Once Kelly's got her out, she's hit the line really strong. She was only having her first start back of this preparation too, so she should take some benefit out of it. So I'll stick with Vatanova for the Alexanders. Let's have a look at a summary for you. Note these down, pop them in your race tracker. Leith's with the Sacred Z, Fancy Pants for Bevan, Honey Badger for Aidan, and I'm with Vatanova. Heading down to the Windy City for our other meeting, Trentham, of course. So Bevan, that is your neck of the woods. What track and conditions are we expecting?
Well, it's heavy 8 at the moment, and that was on withdrawal morning, so Wednesday morning, and we've had fine weather and temperatures around sort of 18, 19, 20 degrees. In the next few days, most importantly, there'll be no frost because it's sort of 15 degrees overnight, so I think it only improves, and there's no rain in the forecast. I wouldn't be surprised if this track at least doesn't get back to a soft 7, and even with a little bit of luck, we might get into that soft 6 range at Trentham, which may, just may, not see them come to the outside fence.
Okay, so we might be looking for that soft track form as we take a look at the feature, the James Bull Rangatiki Cup here at listed level over the mile, where Knight's Realm is your open favourite, $6 from Bradman and Baldorado Boy, both around that $7 quote from If I Did It at $8.50. That's how the market is stacking up at the moment. Let's take you back to Knight's Realm, second last time out at Te Rapa. Certainly is overdue a winning run, Bevan, because I thought this was a good effort and a good race.
He's a sort of free-going type of horse who will roll along on speed. He got run down here. Look, I don't really frank him up as the favourite in this particular race. I think there's other chances in this race who sort of catch my eye as being better opportunities in the race, but that's just my opinion. Leth, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought he was probably a $10 sort of dollars chance, a little bit short at the market. But look, you know what you're going to get. He's going to be on speed, probably leading. He loves the course at Trentham. He said 6 starts here for a win and a couple of placings as well.
He was really good that day, though, and probably not in the best of positions down there towards the inside. He's been pretty consistent, running 9 times in the top 2 in his 17 starts. So you can see why he's liked with Tene Komanyagi on from the minimum. So a chance there. We look at Francie, who was getting home really nicely for 5th in this race at Wanganui. Stays at the 53 kilograms. He's a doozy. Does drop a 1.5 kilograms into this. I thought He's a Doozy wasn't out of it, even with the big weight. Bellado Boy obviously just giving him a little bit of relief, but I really like what I saw from He's a Doozy a couple of starts back, so I was happy to go there again. How does this race sort of frank up as a form reference, Leith?
Yeah, I think both of those horses out of the race. That was nearly on a good 3 track, so they're going to get a track where Trentham's going to suit both of them. If it gets to that sort of heavy range, maybe a soft 6, maybe. I think Francie, she's never raced at Trentham, but I think the track there is going to really suit her this week.
Yeah, He's a Doozy just overdid it a bit on the day there. In the prior effort at Wanganui, he just blown him off the racetrack, looked like his old self. So he's a bit of a head scratcher. Look, you can't doubt what Francie did in her performance. But look, I'm going with Kenchi, who comes out of a very strong race at Te Rapa, sectionally very similar to Nigella Lane, who's come out in one post that. This is a horse who took out a Duro and cleaned him up over 1,600 metres, was the Oaks Prelude winner. I really love her at $12. I think she's a massive each-way proposition for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go Francie. You get an odd surge of 12s. Bruno Quiros, is it? Bevan?
Quiros. Bruno Quiros.
All I know is he's a rider you want to be on. He's a very, very good jockey, and he's going to be winning a lot of races coming up in the summer as well.
I've gone with the Group 1 winner. I've gone with He's a Doozy on top. Just really like what I saw a couple of starts back, forgiving of the last start run, and thinking that just the slight drop in weight will see He's a Doozy prominent here, Pip.
Okay, that's what everybody's liking in the feature, and it does get underway on your big Saturday at 3:47 as we jump back now to race number 4 on the program, the Open 1200, where Bold Bell is your open favourite at $4.40, from Spencer at $5.50, and then there's a stack of them at that quote as well. We are going to take you back to Bold Bell and Meritable at Hawara last time out on May 6, and she gets in nicely at the weights off the back of a pretty decent second here, Bevan.
Yeah, Bold Bell's one you have to catch in the right spot. She generally has a massive run fresh up. This was second up on an off track at Hara. She's going to have the weight relief and a decent sort of gait, and she will jump and run, and the shoot's always better than the remainder of the course proper. I was actually taken by Meritable here. Like, I was watch and see coming back from Australia, but I thought that was a real next up run from Meritable, and gets in with the 54 kilos, Leith.
Yeah, I thought it was a good run as well. I thought Bob Bell's, like, she gets in there with 52 kilos of Jim Chung taking the 2 kilos off. She loves Trentham as well. So, look, I thought Bob Bell was, deserve a favourite.
I think they're both bringing form that you've really got to respect. The lead-up run's terrific from them both. Yeah, and Bold Bell, you think third up into the preparation, just that little bit sharper again into this weekend's race. Up the top of the book is the Group 3 winner Spencer, who was terrific last preparation. Won a couple on end, come out and won a spring sprint at Group 3 level at Te Rapa on a better track last time. Just like what I saw from the trials. I'm not worried about the big weight. Amber Riddell takes the 3 kilograms off, so real upside around. I thought the benchmark on quality in this race.
Yeah, you're right there. Look, he looks really good. He's in for a good winter for sure. Just like those horses at Trentham coming in with a run under their belt. And Bold Bell, I think with Jim Ching on, 52 kilos, she loves the track there at Trentham as well.
Yeah, I do actually agree with Leith. I imagine Spencer is heading to an Opunake Cup, to a Winter Cup, a little like Bradman, who was massive on Saturday, and is on the path to getting to those 2 winter features, and there's a bit more money in the kick at New Plymouth as well for their feature race. I'm going to go with Meritable. I thought there was enough there to suggest with the run under the belt, second up, Trentham should be okay for Meritable. That in a very even race, and I wasn't 100% certain, I'd go with Meritable second up for Colin Reitman, I think, in the ownership there. So thought a good winning chance.
Yeah, I'm going Bob Bell. Look, I think the track conditions are going to suit her on Saturday. Third up into a prep as well. I think she'll be going very close on Saturday.
I've gone with Spencer. Really like what I saw from the trial. Really like what I saw from this horse last preparation. The 3 kilogram claim for a horse with a real class, and winning this I don't think is going to make too much of a difference because he's going to be at the top end of those handicaps through the winter anyhow.
Okay, everybody split, and whatever you are liking though, don't forget too, the Odds Surge is available on each and every race from Trentham, so you get that little bit of a bonus around the prices. First race from there, 12:10, but catch all the build-up on Big Saturday from 11 a.m. Got some Kiwis seeking better weather across in Brisbane this weekend as we take a look at Doomben. Of course, a group action on the program, including the Group 3, the last race on the card here, the Rough Habit, and it does feature plenty of Kiwis, 9 Kiwi breeds, including Croupier for Andrew Campbell at $27 now, has moved in the market from the $35 at opening. And here's the horse that we want to highlight, Mark Duplessis, to do the riding on him. We take you back to his start at Eagle Farm last time, where Aidan, he just looked like he wanted to over-race a bit in the running.
Yeah, we're just waiting for him to let down like he had done in his New Zealand starts prior, but he was cluttered up a little bit. I wonder whether he's a horse who's sort of maybe at this point now just especially first run in Brisbane, just needed a bit more of a go at them. The run, though, was full of merit, really nice effort, and a horse who will improve second time of asking in Queensland, I'm sure. I thought he was a factor in this race, but maybe just need to improve one notch, Leith.
Yeah, look, he was just cluttered up on the inside there. I talked to Mark Duplessis during the week, actually, and he said, look, he needed a bit of space. He said he was a little bit fresh going into the race, so he reckons the 2,000 metres is really going to suit him. And Andrew Campbell's won this race before, 2003, Bob's boy. Yeah, going back a way, it's back into your era, Leith. I've gone with the Firm Agreement up the top. Horse who was terrific right through that autumn campaign in Sydney. The run in the Tulloch from a mile back was massive, leading into a second placing in the Australian Derby, and then a pretty good run in the Frank Packer last time out. So on quality, Firm Agreement, but my fingers are crossed for Croupier. It's a great race for the New Zealand breds. There's 8 of them bred from the New Zealand sides, so out of the 14. So it's going to be a good race on Saturday. I thought King of Thunder, look, last start, ran just in behind Eliana in the Australian Derby. So I think this Saturday is going to find it a little bit easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're getting a good price. He's already moved in the market too, $35 into 27s. Well, from there, we're going to take a look at the other Kiwi running around in Doomben. That is Nereus for Sean Ritchie, and Cole Murray comes up in race number 6, the Chairman's Handicap, over the 2,000 metres. Of course, it is paying around $21. Not our favourite. That is Sir Julius at $2.60 from Immediacy at $3.40, who's another Kiwi bred. Take you back to Nereus though, last time out in the Hawke's Bay Cup. Aidan, what did you make of this run?
Yeah, really good effort from a horse who just picked up late, was maybe just doing his very best at the line, but he seems to be going really well. He's had a trip to Australia before for the Mornington Cup when he was just undone by the nuances of that track. Really nice effort, and of course they're two-handed in the race too. The Richie Murray team with Davideo following in the footsteps of Marajan, but nice run from Nereus. Leith, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think it's probably, I'd rather see him at Eagle Farm. I think the Doomben track's going to probably trick him up a little bit. He looks like a horse he needs a little bit of a space and a bit of a roll on. So I'm happy to just watch him this week, but I think there could be a better target sort of in about 2 or 3 weeks' time at the track that's going to suit him a bit better.
Well, let's hear from one of the co-trainers himself. Aidan did catch up with Sean Ritchie.
Nereus has got Tommy Berry booked for him. He's obviously a Group 1 jockey and a fantastic rider. I'm expecting him to run super. You know, he's a very good horse with a luxury weight with 55.5. So obviously from that perspective, we're looking for a big run from him, and he's got all those lovely Cups races. He's pretty much a race every week for him if we decide to go there. So it's a good carnival for Nereus. Davideo, we're hoping he can beat the ambulance home. He's 2,000 metres at Doomben won't be suitable, but as he steps up to the further distances, he'll get better and better.
I'd love to see a great run from Nereus, and of course Davideo. Looking forward to those 3,200 metre races in Queensland. I'm going to the top of the book though. Sir Delius, who's coming out of a pre-Lark triumph last time out. It's had 6 starts for 3 wins and 2 minor placings before that unplaced run in the Arc, and goes around in Sir Owen Glenn's colours as well. So not often you see a last Arc runner going around in a race like this, Leith.
Yeah, look, he'd be an interesting runner for sure. He's got the top weight. I'm going with the Nelly Young and Trent Buzzard immediacy. Obviously, he's going for 3 in a row, but he's in fine form. But a cut in the track too is going to suit him.
Okay, that's what the guys are liking in the features out of Doomben if you want to catch them. The first of those at 4:43, and the Rough Habit plate gets underway at 6:38. So catch all the action on Big Saturday from Brisbane. Time for our best bets, and as usual, Leith, we start with you. Who have you found this week?
Well, I found it a pretty tough sort of week to be picking horses, pretty even fields, but I thought I liked what I saw. Tearing Vision last start. I think the draw's going to suit him, and the big plus is up to a mile. Just hopefully the race is going to be run at a decent sort of tempo.
I've been playing the long game with Who Knows, who steps up over ground on Saturday, 2,200 metres. I wish we did this show earlier. The $3 was available. There was $3.50 with the boost. It's been back right into $2.40 this morning. Who Knows, I think, will be too good in race number 3 out of Trentham.
Like your confidence there, Bevan. I was like Leith. I was finding it a really difficult weekend. I'm just going to put my faith in Spencer's class. I just like the trial, like where this horse is sitting, and I'm just going to say the class horse of the field looks the hardest to beat in the 4th at Trentham, but without a great deal of confidence. But
at least I'm not the only one. I'm going to Ellerslie. I'm just hoping if this rain doesn't come, which it's not supposed to, and the track doesn't get too wet, I think Gentian Blue a really nice chance based on her second last time. She hit the line really strong at Te Rapa. She's been a winner at Ellerslie in the past. She hasn't won yet over the 2,100 metres, but she certainly looks like she's tracking that way. Here's a summary. Rozzo kicks us off with Jane's Panama on Friday night out of Hattrick Raceway. The Wales with Paddy McDaddy at Rangiora on Sunday. Who Knows for Bevan, Spencer for Aidan, Towering Vision for Leith, and Pip, well, I'm with Gentian Blue. And that does complete the form. Thanks as always to Aidan, Bevan and Leith. We'll catch you back next weekend. Until then, enjoy all of the action and go the Kiwis in Queensland.